Hey, how are you doing? Welcome back to Admission and Scholarship Hacks Masterclass. And today we'll be talking about the next important document apart from your CV. The next important document that shows the admission committee the real you. Okay, have you heard of admission essay? All right. So admission essay is a form of essay that you write when you are doing application, and it can come in different formats. There are different names for admission essay. Okay, so we have the personal statement. Some people call it personal statement. Some schools call it personal statement. It can also be called letter of intent. Some schools call it statement of purpose, application essay, research statement, supplemental form with questions. Like when I was applying to University of Waterloo, right, they will ask you to submit supplementary form. So that form is just like they will ask you question. You're supposed to answer the question and paste it in that supplementary form, right? So admission essay can come in that format. Then it can come in form of questions and answer, where the school gives you a set of questions and say you should answer them, right? Then just know that any other written statements written by an applicant is considered an admission essay. Okay, so you are going to see it in various names. We have not covered all the names. We've not covered all the names. But how do you know that the school is asking you to write admission essay? When they're asking you to write anything that requires you thinking, writing, or sometimes they will not tell you what to do. They'll just say, submit statement of purpose. Right? So just hold all those in mind. These are the various names, and this name is not exclusive. Once you see that they're asking you something that you have to write about yourself, about the program, about whatever you're applying for, remember that that should be an admission essay. Okay, now what is the purpose? They want to know you more. That's why they're asking you for admission essay. Okay, they want to know you more, and they want to know you in the way that cannot be communicated via CV. If you remember the CV lecture, we talked so much about CV, and many of the things you put there. Okay, you did this program, right, in this year, your name, you did this additional training, you worked with this person, you worked with that person, right? So there are things that CV cannot communicate. For example, your drive. What is driving you as a person? What is internally motivating you? You don't put that on your CV, right? Or how will you put it? So those are the things that will be captured in the admission essay. The other one is your passion, right? So it's like, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to accomplish? It cannot be captured on CV. So it is usually captured under admission essay. Then other things that they want to know is like, what do you want to do in that course or in that school? Like, why did you choose this school? And why do you want to do that course? You see? Why do you choose the school? Why do you want to do this course? Many of those things cannot be captured on your CV, because in your CV, there's no way you'll be putting, I chose this school because of, it's not a component of your CV, right? So those are the things that are captured in admission essay. Now, remember again, admission committee, they are looking for change makers, risk takers, leaders. It's not enough to say you participated in take leadership roles. Okay, so let me give you an example. Think of the last time you attended an event in your church or in your mosque or in your community, right? There were people that planned that event. Then there were others that participated. Participating is okay, right? You can put all that, but it doesn't really show. It's like participating is here, organizing is the next level, and you want to make sure that you are showing evidence that you are different. You're a leader, right? So leaders organize, leaders take charge, and now you may not necessarily be the official organizer of the program, but let me say, maybe when you were there, you helped to control crowd. You see, that is something simple, but the point is they are looking for people that take active role in whatever they are doing, not just participating and taking a passive role. Okay, now what is the purpose of admission essay for you? I've talked about why the admission committee wants to see your admission essay, but why is it that you even want the admission committee to see your essay? Because you want to sell yourself. Okay, you want to sell yourself. You want them to know, oh, this is me, I am exceptional. You want to say yourself, I'm an expert rate. Okay, what admission essay is not, it is not a summary of your CV. Just like I said, it's meant to capture the things that cannot be captured on your CV. It doesn't mean that there may not be one or two things that you already said in your CV that you may repeat, but that should not be up to 10% of the admission essay. It's not a summary of your CV. So you see that some people, after writing their CV, they come to, let's say in their CV they said, I'm a dentist, I went to so school, blah blah blah, I work here. Then in their personal statement they will say, oh, I went to study in so school, I currently work here. You are repeating the same thing in your admission essay. It does not make sense, and that's not what admission essay is for. So let's talk about the different elements, what should go into your admission essay. Okay, good. So I have 5 building blocks for admission essay. Let me tell you something. Are you listening? I hope you are not distracted. I hope you have your notes. Write these things down. Write them down right now, because I've worked with some clients, right, whereby we'll finish teaching them. We'll say, this is how to do this thing. You know what they do? They go and do theirs. And the worst place that thing keep repeating itself is under admission essay. Like, some people, they take our course, and because I told you that one of the things that can hinder you in this course is I know too much. When you have that I know too much mentality, you're going to miss out on the meat of the matter, right? And when you miss out, you would have taken this class, but yet the class wouldn't have passed through you. So this is different. Pay attention right now. So there are 5 elements of admission essay. Okay, and I'm going to talk about the other variations at the end. Or let me tell you that admission essay doesn't necessarily have to follow this format, but make sure it follows this format until it is practically impossible. For example, if a school gave you questions to answer and submit the answer to those questions, and maybe, like, I've seen some schools that they will be like, in 200 or 300 words, answer each of these questions, then it's not going to follow this format, right? But don't let it be that the reason it's not following this format is because you have one admission essay or personal statement or letter of intent that you already written and you're not ready to modify it. Trust me, that is setting yourself up for failure. So the first one is, what in your past made you discover this need or challenge? Because most times admission essay is talking about, let's say, let me explain to you. For example, let's take somebody that wants to go and do masters in public health, right? You may be doing masters in public health, and maybe the area you are focusing on, or let me take my student that is doing biology, and the area she's focusing on is vegetables and something like that, some vegetables, mushroom and all that. So this is where her research topic is about, or this is what her research topic is about, or this is also what her the course that she's applying for, the area that they'll be working on. So when we say what in your past made you discover this need or challenge, you are most likely you are taking that program. You want to go for a master's program because maybe you want to learn how to harvest mushrooms. Let me just put it that way, right? Was there anything that inspired you to want to go for masters? Was there anything that inspired you to want to work with mushrooms? Is there anything that inspired you to want to work with vegetable? What are those things? Okay. For example, I remember when I was writing my essay, I was going for public health. But at this point, we're not even talking about the public health now. I want to tell them about my drive, right? So in this first chapter, I talked about I talked about how I was going to school, and all the like in my community, it was known that the guys are the ones that do well in school, right? And then my dad sent me to school, and how I tried my best to see that I took my studies serious, and eventually I became top of my class, and I went to university with that motivation. I was able to also top my class in the university. So sometimes some people may start it differently. Like I've had a client that started with how the uncle was the one who sponsored her, and she wanted to make sure that her uncle was not disappointed. So she read so hard and became excellent. One thing you need to know is that first paragraph is meant for you to shine. Start your story there. Like, what is it about you that this person should know? What is your drive? That should appear in the first paragraph. It could be your drive about the topic that you want to it could be your drive about the topic you want to study. It could be your drive about yourself. It could be drive about the problem that you want to solve, right? But tell it as a story. Okay, tell it as a story. Now, the second paragraph is, what have you done to equip yourself since you discovered this need? So let's say you talked about how let's say people in your community always eat vegetable, but because the vegetable is not so washed, they also usually come down with a running stomach, or stomach upset. Now you want to probably talk about when you identified this problem, what have you done so far? You don't want somebody to think that once you identified a problem, you quickly came and you want to apply for a program, right? So let me give you another example. Say you are in banking, you finish school, you work in a bank, and now you want to go for, let's say, postgraduate diploma in banking security. Let's put it that way, right? So the first one, what is your drive? We have to talk about how in your workplace, maybe people were getting defrauded and all those things, right? And you wanted to make sure that people are not losing their money. Then you want to, not in paragraph 2, you want to talk about what you've done. Maybe you spoke to your boss. Maybe you use the current system that you have, but only to discover that system is faulty. Maybe you reported those people to police, and the fraudsters came back for you, and now you want to develop a software that will make people report them without their names being announced. So the point is, what have you done since you identified the need that you have expressed in the first paragraph? It could be anything, and it could take any format based on your story. Then what's astounding about you? What awards, what impact have you made? What awards have you gotten? So you also want to now tell them about your awards, right? Have you gotten any award? And these awards, as I always say, it doesn't have to be that you were given a plaque. If you are the best in your workplace, list it. If you are the best in school, list it. If you are best in a course, list it. If since you graduated, you've been helping your community and everything, list it there. Okay? List it. So put your awards and all that. Make sure that you know that this thing we are saying is a document, or let's say is something that is written, let's say, in 5 paragraphs. Something like your personal statement or your letter of intent. It's something that is written in like 5 paragraphs. So the stories must connect one way or the other. Don't treat paragraph 1 as totally separate from paragraph 2. Let there be a connection in your story. Okay? Now, in paragraph 4, you want to talk about how will this program empower you to accomplish your life goal? Or what will you do for the community, school, or ward after your program? So I put that order to show you that what will this program empower you to accomplish in your life goal. Don't go and be saying things like, I want to be able to earn fat salary. you know, I want to finish this program so that I'll start earning more. It looks more of being selfish, even though we all know that that's probably going to be part of the result of you getting the additional degree. But you want to focus the attention on the community. You remember when I said they want change makers, they want leaders? Focus it on your community, your school, your country. For example, I remember when I was going for public health, I was telling them about how I want to finish public health and I want to be able to mentor people that are going for research-based programs. I want to mentor people that are going for research-based programs in my community, because there were not a lot of people. I was telling them that why I wanted to do research was because there were programs I was going for, we were not collecting data on sites. I was going for public health programs, we were not collecting data. So I decided that, if we collect data, we may be able to write a research paper that will change policy for the communities we are visiting. Right? Right? Then I tried my best to learn how to do research, but the people around me were not really equipped to train me in research. But that story is actually true. Then you see, I'm not saying that I want to learn how to do research so that I can go back to still down my community outreach and now add a research component to it so that we can get more value. And then I ended in the 5th paragraph by saying that what should the 5th paragraph contain? What will your program or project thesis focus on? Or have you identified okay, let me talk about the first question. What will your project, program or thesis focus on? So depending on the type of program you are going for, right? If you are going for, let's say, research-based program, it will be what will your research focus on. If you are going for course-based program, you usually have project at the end. It will be what will your project focus on. Or let's say the program you're applying for doesn't have projects, it doesn't have thesis. It could be what will your course focus on. So let's say for project, and let's say the lady that is working on mushrooms, that's where you want to talk about that your thesis is going to focus on mushroom. I remember talking to the lady and she was giving me some botanical names for those mushrooms. I was like, so you can now say that, this is what your research will focus on. And if you're going for research-based program, right, we're going to talk more about that. But if you're going for research-based program, at this last heading, last paragraph for your statement of purpose or personal statement, that's where you now talk about if you have gotten a supervisor, who are the supervisors you contacted, or you don't have to mention their name if you want to keep it general. But if some people have given you a firm yes, you can as well mention their name as well. It's like both ways are still okay. So you want to talk about if you have contacted supervisor, if you have any supervisor that have said yes. That is if you are going for research-based program. If you are not going for research-based program, you can just end it by talking about
Afa now, a matter of na working on phone. We think I bet you save kwa number that day, can you?
about what your project is going to focus on, or why you are doing this program, what your research or the papers or whatever is going to focus on. It's going to be different. If you are going for law, it may be in arbitration. If you are going for public health, it may be in epidemiology, or it may be on HIV. If you are going for arts, it may be theater art and specifically folk tales from Africa. It's going to focus on different things. But remember to mention that as the last paragraph for your admission essay. Now, I want you to try your best to arrange your admission essay like this, so that the story is going to connect. If you see where we started from and how we're ending, there is a flow. Okay, it looks technical, but when you write it down and read it, when you write it down, then read it over and over to yourself and ask yourself if it makes sense. Look for another eyes to look at it. So I say you have to keep in mind that use the act of storytelling. Okay, imagine you are telling yourself a story. Imagine you are telling somebody a story. You want to tell them a story that they understand. You don't want yesterday I was going to school. Hey, today we are doing some research. It's not flowing, right? But maybe if you say yesterday I went to school, so my supervisor gave me an assignment to do research. That's why today I'm working on that research paper. You see, there is a connection. So don't leave your paragraphs so distinct from each other that they don't seem to connect. Read it when you finish answering this question. Okay, read it over and over again and see that there is a connection in the story. Now, how long should your admission essay be? If the school did not give you any number, then work with 400 to 500 words, which is approximately single-spaced 1 page. If the school did not give you any number, okay, 450 to 500 words. However, except the school specify, if the school specify, use their number. If the school say write an admission essay 250 words, if you gotta write that of 500 words saying that Dr. Linda said is usually 500 words, you are doing yourself, and the school will penalize you for that. They always want you to follow instruction. So 450 to 500 words, but where the school specify, follow the school instruction. If the school say write 2,000 words, write 2,000 words. Okay, it shouldn't be too long. Okay, so I don't advise you to go more than 1 page. Use single space 1 page. That's around 500 words, and it shouldn't be too short. Don't go and be writing admission essay that is 200 words, especially if the school did not give you a figure. If they did not give you a number of words to focus on, as I said, 450 to 500 words is something good to work with. And also, if you have people around you that have admission essay, hey, I'm talking about people that have gone abroad to study. Don't just use, it's like, don't go backwards. Somebody that have never left their country, they don't know how admission essay works, they've never studied abroad. If you go for them to review your admission essay, you are harming yourself, you're harming your chances of getting the admission. So if you have anybody abroad that have gone to study abroad, they've written admission essay, definitely you can have them take a look at your admission essay and advise you on how to improve it, right? Another way you can also do it, you can get online, but as well, I know that we're going to provide you with copies of admission essay, even copies of CV, copies of all the documents that you need. We're going to provide you with copies of that. I hope that makes you happy. Okay, so get templates from online. Again, Google is your friend. Go to Google, type, let's say you are writing an admission essay and your essay is about HIV. Write samples of admission essay related to HIV. Search it on Google. Go to pictures or go to images. You're going to see whatever you see there. Read it. If you see different images, right, which are samples, read it over and over again. What you're going to notice is that you're going to get ideas that you can put together to follow this format to write your own. Okay, now this is it about admission essay. Admission essay is very tasking, and you know the thing, there is no one correct method. You know, when we say this is the only method of how you should write it, but I strongly advise that you follow our format, except the school specifies another format. Right now, if you have written your own admission essay, if you've written your own admission essay before watching this lecture, there is that tendency for you to be cling to your admission essay because you feel, oh, it's the best. What I will ask you to do is revise your admission essay based on some of the things we've talked about. Okay, revise your admission essay based on some of the things we've talked about. It will really help you. And also take a look at the samples we are going to give to you. Take a look at them and make sure that, okay, you see how it works. Look at the words people are using. The 33 admission essay samples, right, that we're going to give to you. Those are from students that have gone abroad, including my own original copy. So take a look at it, see how people started their own, then use that as a guide. Never ever copy and paste. The school system is going to flag it as a plagiarized document, and that will be the end of your admission. Never ever copy word for word. Think about it. We give it to you, then we give it to someone else, then two of you copy and paste. What's going to happen? Two of you are going to submit the same document. No admission for both of you. You see the point? So never fall into that trap of copying and pasting. So your task today is for you to write a sample admission essay. So pick a course. One of the courses you picked under your programs of best fits. Write a sample admission essay using what we have given to you, right? Write a sample admission essay using what we've given to you. So, and see how it looks. Read it over and over again. That may not be the admission essay you will submit to the particular school where you're going to study. But just by practicing, you will be better off than letting this lecture just go. And then one day you come back, you want to write admission essay, you will not remember what to do. All right? Moreover, keep your notes. All right, till I see you again in the next lecture.